بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الخلق أجمعين. Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to another video on research methodology course. As a reminder, this course is offered to students of third year at the English Department of Constantine University 1. My name is Dr. Bujwada, and in this video I'll be explaining into more details the content of this course. So this course is divided into two parts, one theory and one practice. For the theory we have 4 chapters, then followed by practice. So by the end of this course, students are supposed to be able to tell what research is and how it is done. They'll be able to recognize types of research and identify the key characteristics of research approaches and methods. They are going to be able to outline the steps of conducting research. Also, they will be able to analyze abstracts and articles and indicate elements of a research paper. In addition to this, they'll be able to evaluate, criticize, discuss articles in terms of how they are conducted methodologically. And finally, they'll be able to produce a poster presentation describing, analyzing, and criticizing a couple of studies using all essentials learned in this course. So, as mentioned before, the course is 2 parts, one theoretical and one practical. The main objective of the theoretical part is giving students or allowing students to acquire knowledge about research methodology in social sciences and be familiar with meanings and concepts. For the practical parts, the main objective is consolidating the knowledge acquired about the research methods in a more practical way. So we start off with the theoretical part. So as mentioned before, the theoretical part is 4 chapters. So the first chapter is an introduction to research. So we will be covering definition of research gap, research topic. So how can we find the gap in research? How can we select a research topic? For chapter 2, it is on types of research or research approaches. We will be covering 3: qualitative, quantitative, and mixed. Qualitative meaning focusing on data as in more words, quantitative focusing on the data as in more statistical, and mixed is when using both the qualitative and the quantitative. Of course, at the end of each chapter, there will be activities for students to practice more. Chapter 3 is about research methods. So we will be looking at few research methods that can be used to collect data, such as interviews, observations, focus groups, questionnaires, and experiment. The last chapter, which is on steps of conducting research. So we will be looking at selecting a topic. How do we select a topic? How do we find the research problem? How do we write the hypothesis, research aims, research questions? How can we select a proper and related review of the literature? How are we supposed to collect data? What methods can be used? How do we analyze the data? What are the techniques for data analysis? How do we write the findings? How do we synthesize the findings and the discussions? And of course, at the end of each chapter, students will have activities to practice more. So when we finish these 4 chapters that are based on theory, students will have the opportunity to practice through analyzing abstracts. So when analyzing abstracts, they are asked to identify elements of a research paper using a template. This template will be provided to them, so they'll be reading the abstract and analyzing the abstract and bringing out the elements. So for the practical part is 3 sections. The first one is the individual work, the second one is collaborative work, and the last one is poster presentation. So for the individual work, students are asked to search individually for academic article about the topic of their own interest. It can be anything related to linguistics, education, history, science, and so on. So they'll be analyzing the article using a template provided to them as well, where they'll be identifying the main elements of the research methods. The second step is the collaborative work. So in this work, students are asked to engage in small groups to discuss, analyze, and criticize the articles they've chosen, of course, and then write an essay collaboratively comparing and contrasting these articles in terms of how they are conducted methodologically. The last step, which is the poster presentation, students are asked to work in groups. Their groups, of course, are asked to create a poster and present orally their work, where again they'll be providing critiques and analysis to the articles, and also answering the questions asked to them by the teacher and their classmates. So yes, so this is the mostly the content of the course. So here are my details. If you have any questions or any queries, please do not hesitate to contact me or come and see me, and definitely I'll be looking forward to guiding our students of third year into this course. So yes, so thank you for watching, and I shall see you next time. Bye.